Basically, the whole project was about debate, not argue. So it was about having a nice debate and the culture about debating. But obviously, you always need one problem to debate about. And we choose gender biases as our problem because we were confronted with it in our personal life, the females and the males, and it sounded like a very interesting topic.
The purpose of the game is for a young audience from, let's just say, 12 to 18 years old to get to know what a bias is, in this case a gender bias. We actually decided to tackle the topic in I would say, like a novel way that I have never seen tried before, because we tried to do a browser game, which is very reminiscent of like these old like RPG adventure books. So yeah, that's a subject that we try to tackle in this way, and I feel that it's an interesting and it's an interactive way to like get to know what a bias is, and it can be like, honestly, it can be modified in a lot of ways. It can be browser-based. It can be like done on paper in case a browser isn't available. And in this way, I feel like we can like do much more topics than just this one. It's like really universal, and it can be like done in many different ways, I would say.
The good thing is all ages like to play, and since we made a game, I hope we can interest everybody. We want to accomplish to engage all the people there, to engage all the students there, that they tackle the problems, that they might get interested into studying further. So the method of the workshop was pretty much thinking about the attention span they have. We started with a presentation, which is them only listening and get to know us. But then after 20 minutes, you have to quickly get them engaged, because they're not gonna listen for much longer. So then we put in the energizer to get them moving, to get them hyped up. And then with a little bit of a cliffhanger, they were able to play the game. And they divided into groups. So we just sorted them randomly, because it's always the best way to sort them randomly, so they don't chit-chat with their best friends, and actually play the game. And they did it pretty nicely. They were concentrated doing this. I was surprised at that. And after that, we took everybody back and started to make a discussion out of it. There we used some questions we prepared for that, especially to get them engaged into the dialogue with everybody. With these questions, we sort of had a little game where I was stating some arguments or stating some phrases, and they should either stand on one side if they agree, or on the other side if they disagree. And then there's a little bit more of a discussion, because they can always move during this part. And there we just went spontaneous. Whatever came up, we just asked them to like get their arguments behind it.
I'm very happy about the discussion afterwards. I think Stefan did a pretty good job moderating people, and actually to get them talking. I don't think I would be able to do it like that. So yeah, like in terms of improvements, I guess I can look into that for some possible future workshops to learn that myself. Yeah, overall, I think it was really good, and I'm very happy with how it turned out.
The feedback of the students, I think, were pretty good. What I saw in their eyes. Problem is, at the end they were a little bit tired, so we wanted to make a short cut then. But we gave them a little exercise. If they want to put something on the flip chart, they can, about what they can do to stop their biases, to prevent their own biases. And there were many sticky notes on the flip chart then, which surprised me, because they could have left without, but I think 50% of them wrote something down, and when they went out, they even discussed that a little bit, which I was surprised, and I got to get in touch with them, and they seem relaxed, and that's the best after such a long workshop.